You're on to your favorite station, Ginger Media TV.
Welcome to Ginger Media channel. This is the channel where we explore the truth behind the headlines. The Central Bank of Nigeria under President Muhammadu Buhari is imposing over 10,000 naira on all Southerners. Do you think we are lying? Okay. Nigerians are to pay more than 10,000 naira additional charges for paying and withdrawing cash over 500,000 naira. People, do you know what that means? That means your own money, you go to Central Bank of Nigeria, you go to your bank, be it First Bank, Eco Bank, Fidelity Bank, it doesn't matter. You want to withdraw 500,000 naira cash. They will charge you money to withdraw your own money. This is unbelievable. It gets even more serious. This is only happening in southern states. Southern states. We'll get to that later. Nigerian Central Bank imposes new charges on every single deposit and withdrawal on bank accounts. The new charges will kick off with immediate effect in some states. These are some states. Now, the thing that bothers in Ginger Media is, it says it will kickstart immediately, with immediate effect. Remember the last time we heard about the use of the word immediate effect was during the Abacha time, during Babangida time. Many of you who are children, who do not grow up in those times, may not understand what you mean. During the time, you will hear something like this: the officials of Penupeng and Pengasin are hereby dissolved with immediate effect. These are the type of things that we used to hear. Today they are back again with immediate effect. They said, now this is a statement, a circular that was signed by Sam C. Okojere, who is the director, Payment System Management. And he says that this is a nationwide implementation of the cashless policy, that the nationwide implementation of the cashless policy will take effect from March 31st, 2020. Nigeria Central Bank has approved this immediately. Additional charge and deposit and withdrawal in the country. In a circular they issued yesterday being the 17th, to all banks. That's yesterday 17th, which is Tuesday, September 2019. It says the implementation of cashless policy. CBN said the new charges are on depositors, apply to those in Lagos, Ogun, Kano, Abia, Anambra, River State, Abuja, and it will be immediately. Now, let us break this down for you, for those of you who are not thinking. If you remember, we have only Southerners, or rather 90% Southerners. That means the Yorubas, the Southeasterners, and the Southerners in Lagos. The Igbos are the ones who do a lot of business, cash transfers, who deal in spare parts. If you go to Tojo Show, you see Yorubas, you see the Igbos, they are the ones that deal with these businesses. If you go to Ogun, it is the Yorubas and the Igbos. If you go to even in Kano, the Sabongeri, those are areas where the Igbos control, where they do the electronic businesses, they do their spare parts businesses. Are you going to Abia? Have you forgotten that Aba is in Abia? Umaya is in Abia. Or do you want to talk about Anambra? The cash transactions that happen in Nnewi, in Anambra, or the one that happens in Oka, or the largest market in the West African sub-region, which is in Onitsha, the Onitsha main market. Or are you talking about River State? You're talking about the Diobu, or are you talking about the Waterside? And I want to talk about the FCT, which is the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. You're talking about the day-to-day market. You're talking about all the markets where you see Igbos, Yorubas, all Southerners. We can authoritatively and steadily say that this satanic policy of CBN is targeted against the Igbos and the Yorubas and the Southerners. You can see when we say this is a thing that is going to be targeted against the southern Nigeria, which is the Yorubas, the Igbos, and let's say the whole South. This is unbelievable. The statements further stated that the new charges will be in addition to existing charges. So You remember when you withdraw money, there is already charges. But this one is when you withdraw money from today, they will hammer you. Bagam! Welcome to change and welcome to the next level. The details of these additional charges are below. Let us break it down for you. Get your pen and paper if you're interested. On individual accounts, anytime you withdraw over 500,000 naira or anytime you do a lodgement over 500,000 naira, 500,000 naira is around $1,500. If it's in pounds, it's about 1,100 pounds. If you do this lodgement, you know what it means? You will pay 3% for lodgement, 2% for corporate deposits. So you have your account. You take 500,000. You lodge. You want to pay this money cash. You sold your keke napep. Somebody came in and paid you cash. They will have to flex you. On corporate accounts, that will be 2% for any payment over 500,000 and withdrawal. No, sorry. For corporate account, it's going to be withdrawals, lodgement limit of 5%, deposit 3%. What does this mean? With this policy, every deposit above 500,000 on individual account will attract extra fee of 2%. Now, if you get your calculator and you do 2% of 500,000, for instance, if you pay 510,000 into your savings account, your own savings account, not somebody else, the bank will charge you 10,220 naira for the transaction. Hi, Nigeria. Is this how they want to charge us to bring us to die in this next level? Remember, the federal government has already, even last week, increased the VAT from 5% to 7.2%. So they want to squeeze in Nigerians in their brokers to the point that everybody is shouting. This is no longer about the politicians. This is now a catastrophe that is about waiting to be happen. What worries in Genje Media more is why would this be in southern states? We continue. Sam C. Okojere, Director of Payment System Management System, said that the nationwide implementation of this cashless policy will take effect from March 31st, 2020. Then Genje Media will ask, why do you want to, first of all, for 9 months, tax the southerners to death? Why don't you start that with Zamfara, with Katsina, with Yobe, with all the states in the Federal Republic of Nigeria? People, is it not unbelievable that when it comes to road allocation, railways, the North gets almost everything? But when it comes to taxing people to death, they will look southwards. Yet, the same South pays more tax and feeds the nation with the crude oil that's the life stream of this economy. Yet, when it comes to sharing money, they will share money based on revenue, based on local government and landmass. Who is fooling who? Who is fooling who? It is a good thing. Don't get us wrong. It is a good thing to start the cashless payment. At least it will help reduce both kidnapping and reduce people moving money anyhow. But the question is, why do it only to the southern states and where the southerners are mostly? If the North is equal to the task, why wouldn't they start it as well? Does it mean that the North doesn't take any payment? Well, it will be good, as Genje Media will say, that it is good that they would even look at Danguje, the bullion van of Kano State. Let them start with him, because that one, the amount of money he deposits in Agbada will turn into millions if he ever wants to pay that 5% of lodgement. Because for him, he is nothing but a corporate entity. The CBN cashless policy now is basically telling us that this is going to start in 2020. We ask again and again and again, why don't we wait till 2020? Why do we have to tax the people till death now? Why do we have to do this now? Why not in 2020? These are questions that we want answers. It is actually the way people have been angry. People might want to go to the street and protest this. A lot is happening. Suddenly, it appears that Buhari is bringing his toilet eyes when you eat something that stuff your orifice and the poo-poo is not readily coming out, you go to the toilet. There is some red eye, that you must use to get the poo-poo out. It appears that is what the president is doing at the current speed. You remember yesterday, the president actually castrated the vice president by removing his powers, saying that if all those agencies under him that he has given him, all those agencies, that any one of them that needs any budget must go through the presidency. Then you ask, of what good is the vice president now? Is the vice president only good in sharing trader money, running around and visiting and extending condolence messages? Hi, Buhari will deal with us, all of us, both those that voted him and those that did not vote him. Every one of us would have a test of Buhari by the time Buhari finishes with us. And again, we saw in the papers today that the North are actually saying that in 2023, they would present another president. And then the media will say, please, we want that to happen. Let in 2023, let the North produce another president. Even after, in 2027, let them produce another president. After all, the South is not qualified to be the president of Nigeria because the North are born to rule the South, and the South must remain under their subjugation and under their slavery. That is why they would have the audacity under a CBN governor that is nothing but a puppet of the North and the puppet of the Arewas to go and start this silly policy, tasking his people to death. Why would they start this in only the southern state? Why? We ask again at Njinji Media. Why? Why do you have to tax people to death? You transfer money on the internet, they will charge you. They will charge you for the maintenance of your card, be it Visa card, MasterCard, or even Verve. Any plastic they give you, they will charge you. Monthly maintenance, annual fee, annual that, annual the other one. You keep your own money leave it in your account. They will charge you. They say it's VAT cut. They will say it's whatever. If you leave, the only country I know that if you leave 100,000 in an account without doing anything, without touching that money, in 1 year's time, half of that money will just vanish, goes somewhere. Where did it go? You don't know. This is unbelievable. How can Buhari be doing this to the people? According to the CBN again, the new policy on transactions, that is withdrawal, in the banks is aimed at reducing but not eliminating the amount of physical cash, coin, and notes circulating in the economy and encouraging more electronic-based transactions. Now we ask, why are they not doing electronic-based transactions in the issues that concern the government? Yet we have and we still have ghost workers every day. But the government cannot find it in its place to make sure that in those accounts, that those payments for ghost workers has gone into. Anyone that has the account, jail that person 150 years. No, they won't jail because all the ogas serving Buhari and those that is serving the government are the ones that have those accounts. But what would they do? They will just look the other way as if they see nothing. How can the government tell us that they've removed over 60,000 ghost workers, yet not a single person was prosecuted, and those people were collecting money every single month? And we are fighting corruption my foot. Once more, this is Njinji Media channel. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe to the channel for more updates.
You're on to your favorite station, Njinji Media TV. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube.